Hey there, Chiefs Kingdom. Let me ask you this. Could we actually see Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City? Yeah, you heard me right, the cheater himself. It's a question that's got everyone talking, and today we're diving deep into it. Seriously, we couldn't do this without your support. Let's keep the momentum going. So if you're new here or just haven't hit that button yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe now to join the kingdom. Now, about this Tyreek Hill buzz, it's got everyone in a frenzy. After the Miami Dolphins' tough loss yesterday that officially knocked them out of playoff contention, Tyreek made some comments that have Chiefs fans wondering if a reunion is on the horizon. Here's what he said. "I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I've got to do what's best for my career. So, what does that mean for us? Is it just wishful thinking, or is there a real chance we'll see him back at Arrowhead? Let me know what you think in the comments right now." Here's a fun poll to kick things off. If the Chiefs have the chance to bring Tyreek back, should they do it? Type T for trade or P for pass. I'll be reading through your takes, so don't hold back. Alright, let's jump into the details of Tyreek's time in Miami and why he's ready to leave. Stick around, because it's about to get interesting. When Tyreek Hill left Kansas City in 2022, it wasn't just about the money though. The Dolphins did make him one of the highest paid wide receivers in NFL history. For the last 3 seasons, Tyreek played at an elite level in Miami. Let's break down what that looked like. In his time with the Dolphins, Tyreek racked up some incredible stats. He earned a first-team All-Pro honors, led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns in 2023, and remained one of the NFL's most dangerous offensive weapons. The cheetah still had the speed, the agility, and the ability to make game-changing plays. Oh, and let's not forget he missed just 1 game in his Miami tenure. That's durability at its finest. But here's the thing, while Tyreek put up big numbers, the Dolphins' team success didn't follow. Miami made the playoffs twice during his time there, but failed to win a single playoff game. That's a tough pill to swallow for a competitor like Tyreek, who's used to the winning culture we've built here in Kansas City. It's no wonder he's frustrated. When asked about his future, he didn't hold back, saying, "I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there, so why now?" Why is Tyreek ready to leave Miami? It boils down to this. He wants to win. He wants to compete for Super Bowls. And let's be real, there's no better place for that than Kansas City. But is a reunion realistic? We'll get into that soon. But first, here's a question for you. Would you welcome Tyreek back, despite his departure a few years ago? Drop a comment and let's hear your take. Coming up, we'll explore how the Chiefs have managed without Tyreek and whether they even need him now. Don't go anywhere, there's a lot more to uncover. When Tyreek Hill left Kansas City, it felt like the sky was falling for some fans. How could the Chiefs possibly replace the production of a player so electric, so pivotal to their offense? But here's the thing, the Chiefs didn't just survive without Tyreek, they thrived. Think about it. In the 3 years since Tyreek's departure, Kansas City hasn't just remained competitive, they've been dominant. To Super Bowl appearances and 1 Lombardi trophy later, it's safe to say the Chiefs found ways to win without the cheetah. And a lot of that credit goes to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Brett Veach. They reimagined the offense, spreading the ball around and making it nearly impossible for defenses to key in on one player. Let's talk about the wide receiver room. It's been a mix of veterans and young talent stepping up. Players like Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, and most recently, rookie Rashee Rice have all contributed. Rashee, by the way, was having a breakout season before his injury. Remember that name, he's going to be a star. And it's not just the receivers. Travis Kelce has continued to be the heart and soul of this offense, playing at a Hall of Fame level year after year. The running backs, led by Isaiah Pacheco, have added a new dimension to the offense with their versatility. All of this has made the Chiefs more balanced and less reliant on a single superstar. Here's a fun question for you. Who has been your favorite Chiefs player to watch since Tyreek left? Drop their name in the comments. I'd love to hear who stood out to you. Now, does this mean the Chiefs wouldn't benefit from Tyreek's return? Of course not. He's still one of the best in the league. But the point is, Kansas City has proven they can win without him, and that's what makes this situation so intriguing. Do you risk disrupting the chemistry of an already successful team to bring back a player of his caliber? Or do you stick with what's working? Up next, we'll tackle the financials and logistics of a potential Tyreek Hill trade. Can the Chiefs afford it? And what would it cost them in draft capital and cap space? Don't go anywhere, we're breaking it all down. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, let's get real for a moment. If Tyreek Hill does make a return to Kansas City, it won't come cheap. The financials are a massive piece of this puzzle. So let's break it all down and see if this reunion is even possible. First, let's talk about Tyreek's current contract. He's still under a deal with the Miami Dolphins that runs through 2025. And here's the kicker: his base salary for next season hovers around $40 million. That's a hefty price tag for any team, even one as well managed as Kansas City. Sure, you could argue that a player of Tyreek's caliber is worth it, but fitting that into the Chiefs' salary cap, that's another story entirely. Let me ask you this. Would you be willing to give up key pieces or draft picks to bring Tyreek back? Type Y4 yes or N4 no in the comments. I'm curious to see how many of you are ready to make that leap. Now, if a trade were to happen, the Chiefs would likely need to part with significant draft capital, probably a second and third round pick at minimum. Considering how Brett Veach has nailed recent drafts, is it worth giving up those picks? Remember, this team has built its success on smart decisions, both on and off the field. And let's not forget the wide receiver room. Kansas City has several players on rookie contracts: Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, and others who are contributing without breaking the bank. Plus, you've got options in free agency. Players like Mecole Hardman and DeAndre Hopkins could return for a fraction of what Tyreek would cost. Hopkins, for instance, has been a great fit since his arrival and doesn't carry nearly the same financial burden. Here's another angle to consider. The Chiefs have thrived because of their flexibility. They don't rely on one or two stars to carry the team. Instead, they spread the ball around and keep defenses guessing. Would Tyreek's return enhance that, or would it tip the balance too much? So, Chiefs Kingdom, what do you think? Is Tyreek worth the financial gamble, or should Kansas City stick with its current formula? Hit up the comments and let's debate this one. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, let's talk heart, not numbers or strategy, but what it would mean emotionally to see Tyreek Hill back in a Chiefs jersey. Imagine Arrowhead Stadium erupting as the cheetah runs out of the tunnel, the roar of the crowd echoing through the kingdom. It's a powerful image, right? But would it be the fairy tale reunion we all want, or something a bit more complicated? Tyreek's legacy in Kansas City is undeniable. He's a Super Bowl champion, a key player in some of the most electrifying moments in Chiefs history, and a fan favorite for years. His connection with Patrick Mahomes was pure magic, a dynamic duo that struck fear into defenses every single week. Bringing him back could reignite that spark and create even more unforgettable moments for the kingdom. But let's not forget the reasons he left in the first place. There were frustrations, contract disputes, and a feeling that his time in Kansas City had run its course. A reunion would require Tyreek, the team, and the fans to move past any lingering tension. Could we do that? Let me know in the comments. How would you feel about Tyreek wearing red and gold again? There's also the question of how this move would impact his legacy. Would returning to Kansas City cement Tyreek as one of the all-time greats in franchise history? Or would it complicate his story? Some players thrive when they return to their roots, while others struggle to recapture the magic. Chiefs fans, here's a question for you. If Tyreek came back, would you expect him to perform at the same elite level as before? Or would you be okay with him taking on a more complementary role? Let's hear your thoughts. As we look ahead, it's clear that a Tyreek Hill return would be about more than just stats and wins. It would be a chance to rewrite history, to add another chapter to an already incredible story. Whether it happens or not, one thing is for sure: this conversation has reminded us all of what Tyreek Hill means to the Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up, we'll wrap things up with some final thoughts and predictions. Will the cheetah come home, or is this just a dream for fans? Stick around for the conclusion, it's one you won't want to miss.